Hi, this is Matt Courtright. Welcome to the Rugby 100 Club. I'm happy to have Steve Lewis joining me today. Steve, thank you for joining me today. How are you, buddy?
Happy to be here. Good to see you again.
It's so I had to do this proper intro and everything, and I just don't do good with the whole proper stuff.
I know you.
So what the hell have you been up to?
That's been a while since we met, but recently I've been doing this.
I haven't seen you since. Yeah, I saw that. I haven't seen you since DC, so probably almost a year ago, bro.
Probably a year, yeah. So I've been doing Elevate Rugby, which is my sort of coaching consultancy thing. So I bounce around mostly sevens. So right now I'm coaching Nigeria, I'm coaching Guyana, and I'm the high performance consultant for Costa Rica.
I was going to say, you better say Costa Rica because we were.
Yep, 3 countries. I'm also doing All Blue, which is my club in the summer. And then I'm also
love that club, bro. Never been to a game, but seem to know too many of you guys that are in it.
You know Sam, you know Manati, you know Daquan, you know the gang.
Gang.
KP, yep. Cara Pryor as well. So we're doing those. I'm also doing the NCR, the All-Star Sevens at Rugby Town. I'm going to be coaching them this year. So that's kind of a change. I've been coaching Jesters for a while.
When is Rugby Town this year? Do you know?
August 17 to 24. And as you well know, because you have abused me there, amongst various other venues, you've abused me. But it's the top sevens invitational tournament in the hemisphere, in my opinion. Very good, very high quality. So basically 3 countries, All Blue and the Collegiate All-Stars. So those are my sort of 5 coaching gigs.
You need a media guy? Just asking for a friend. Just let me know.
Yeah. And then I'm doing a bunch of other stuff. I did Babson preseason. I'm doing a thing for All Blue. I bounce around all the universities, the colleges in the New York metro area for All Blue. I do clinics. So for instance, I do a camp in Trinidad for a week. And I get invited to various places to do, clinics basically. So it's more a series of mini gigs that I've been doing rather than one job like GM for New York. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. It's not a get rich quick scheme, but it's a good lifestyle. I get around different parts of the world.
Yeah, you get around all right, buddy.
I get around. So there you go. So that's what I've been doing. This is Central HQ. This is New York City. We just survived a big snowstorm, 15 inches.
How'd that go?
I live in Colorado 20 years. It's like snow doesn't bother me. It's like
no F-bombs given. Yeah.
Whatever. Who cares?
Another day in the hood.
Yep, exactly. So going to Costa Rica next Tuesday. Got some stuff down there. Actually, setting up a sports tourism company there. So we're going to be putting on events. One of which is a very we can talk about this, but with World Rugby sort of deprioritizing sevens, right? So the World Series is shrinking, number of tournaments, number of teams. So there's kind of a gap. So since Vegas has gone away, Punta del Este was Uruguay. So the idea is to create a Glendale quality tournament, but to do it in Costa Rica, where you have existing tourism infrastructure, right? You got rafting, you got beaches, you get fishing, you get jungles, you get rainforests. So the idea is that this is the perfect venue, both geographically, between North America and South America. And I get a place there and I like it down there. So I want to have a tournament.
So you're kind of like in. Yeah. You have residents, just like.
Yeah. So that's kind of a project for later in the year. And, which is slightly different from just the pure coaching.
Yeah. No. Are you enjoying staying busy, or has it become overwhelming at any point? I'm just asking stupid questions. It's not, I know you love what you do, but does it get taxing ever?
No, I think, for instance, when it was New York, right, and it was GM, and that was a proper job. 6 days a week, 9-10 months a year. That was more stressful in a sense, more pressure. So right now what I do, I do like 4 weeks with Nigeria, 6 with Costa Rica, 4 with Guyana, and they're all broken up. So at my age in life, 50 is in the rear view mirror.
Don't look a day over 26, bud.
Why, thank you. Trapped in the body of a man 10 years younger. But
at least.
I am the age. It depends what dating app you're on. Dictates my age.
Here we go. This is my boy. This is my boy. Cheers, brother.
So I'm
Cheers.
either
All right,
52.
cheers.
I'm either 52, 58, or 62. But anyway, so this life, the sevens thing with multiple mini gigs, it's kind of working out for me right now because it's 1 week on, 1 week off. So it's not dramatic pressure. It's not a high paying job where you're under the gun, and it's typically, I actually think I operate quite well in these environments in the sort of tier 2, tier 3 countries where it's not easy. You rock up, you don't know how many players are there. You don't know if everyone's on time. You don't know what equipment you have. You have to be nimble. You have to be flexible. So I seem to work okay in challenging environments, shall we say.
Yeah.
Not just New York.
You're a problem-solving son of a gun, is what you are, buddy. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Solutions.
Yeah, because I wouldn't call you a son of a, the other one because I actually like your mama. She's great.
There you go. She may watch this, so you better watch.
Oh, I hope she does. Man, last time I kicked it with your mom, I think it was the championship, my dude. I think it was the, yeah. And I always giggled because you told me that McCarthy would have to take her home sometimes after games because you were working later than she wanted to stick around. And of course, Matt stick around. And those little stories that people don't know in our world is just what, I don't know, kind of draws me in harder, to be honest. And I never met McCarthy until after meeting you, of course. And I'm like, hey, now that I actually met you, I might actually watch one of those podcasts you do.
Now he's a tireless promoter of the game. You got to tip your hat to him. He does. He works hard.
Yeah, honestly, take away the mask, and I know his heart is so grinding so hard on rugby and promoting rugby. I've gone and watched some of his older stuff, and anybody that's watching, if you honestly, iron sharpens iron as far as I'm concerned. So go watch Matt McCarthy's podcast because he's been doing this before the MLR was ever around. He is so knowledgeable. He likes to play the smart aleck, and I love him for that. Sometimes he plays a little too hard into it, in my opinion. And Matt, this is nothing I wouldn't say to you in your face. You know that. And so it's one of those where it's I see his heart, and he's so driven to drive this forward.
Yeah, so
much like yourself.
Yeah, and so he's got his not a new show now, but Rugby Odds. So he does the MLR weekly thing. He gets love from some owners in MLR, but doesn't really get the love he should get from the organization, considering what he does for them. Opinion number one: there's going to be more coming. And then
you know what? Bring it.
He also does the Rugby Odds, which is he's trying to sort of fuse.
That's with those two other characters, correct?
Yeah. So JBL, WWE legend, Layfield,
right,
and Mike Friday's on it a lot these days. The former US Sevens coach.
Your boy, yeah,
and my boy, yep. And then, apart from being English, but he's a terrific coach, a good man. And then Gift Ebelu, who is an inventor of words, my Nigerian compadre. He is an inventor of words. He just comes up with shit that doesn't make sense. But anyway, that's what Matt does. So Rugby Odds, worth the watch. Rugby Wrap Up, worth the watch. Matt McCarthy, he's a good man.
Let's tell stories. Let's tell some stories, buddy. Let's start with your version. This is our favorite part when we introduce ourselves to other people, you and I. I was telling a player named Sean Clark how you and I met so he could feel better because it was a very similar situation.
Well, there I was minding my own business, right? New York versus Seattle, Major League Rugby 4 or 5 years ago in the stand with
2021, I think it was.
Yeah,
when all the distance things.
We're there in Seattle, pumping the local boys, away win on the cards, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And this bald muppet behind me just starts abusing me non-stop and abusing you non-stop. And it's kind of like, If he was moderately amusing, I'd put up with it. But he was boorish. I think his name is Matt, something like Courtright,
Yeah,
something like that.
thinking
About
You didn't
anyway,
even-
at halftime, do I choke him out or what? What do I do? And then a mutual friend, an actual friend, Tony Ridnell, popped by to shake hands, and I said,
I'll name drop. I love name dropping.
I said, who's this douche behind me? I'm going to have to sort him out. And Tony said, no, it's okay. It's okay. He's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll have a word. So that's the first time we met. Second time we met, I'm coaching the Jesters at Rugby Town. I'm walking on the field and someone starts to abuse me again. Some bald guy who may or may not be in his podcast starts abusing me again. So the first two occasions were egregious verbal abuse that was unwarranted.
Absolutely.
But I've got past that, and we're here now, and we're friends.
Oh, I mean, because I was there in the moment, so in my head I'm reliving it, and I'm just obviously dying laughing over here because like this is our favorite thing when you and I are together. Is to like guess how we met. So my version's very similar. Not as aggressive, but like it was. I remember like I'm the big blowhorn for Seawolves, and it was like all this space in the world between everybody in 21, like just absolutely ridiculous to me. And I saw you and who was with you?
It was Rick Saliso, who's the CEO.
Perfect.
So he was my boss.
Your boss.
Yeah.
Even better in my mind.
Oh, you were abusing him as well. You didn't know who you were abusing. You just saw two New York people.
Exactly. And you're right. That's why I think it's hilarious because,
of course, neither is being from New York, but we'll set that aside.
Even odder, right? So, like, naturally seeing you with these New York kits or coats or whatever, and I'm like, you know what? Like, we don't have anybody here. I can't really get a crowd going when there's like 3 people for every like 20 feet or some jazz. And I'm trying to watch my 4-letter words. And I'm like, dude, perfect opportunity. I looked at my wife. I'm like, I'm gonna go raise hell. See ya. So I was like, I think I was 7 rows or something jazz like that behind you, and I'm just being this blowhorn. And you look back a couple times with the evil eye, and it's like, all right, I'm getting under his skin. All right, we're making the New Yorkers uncomfortable. All right, we're going down the corner store, get some beers, and fuck up some smart kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was having way too much fun with the situation. You kept looking back, and I'm like, ooh, push a button, push a button, push a button, and then Ridnell shows up, and he's like, hey Matt, have you met my buddy Steve? I'm like, and you look at him, and he goes, we're gonna keep it 4-letter words out of it, but like this MF has been a blowhorn for like 40 minutes. Of course, there's a whole lot more 4-letter words involved.
Didn't help your team much, didn't really affect the score or the result or anything like that.
No,
but, as long as you had fun. As long as you had fun.
You're
a paying customer, you're entitled to have fun.
And at your cost, I'm in all day long, especially now that I know you. I did the right thing to the right guy because it affected you so deeply.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know is like, Colton Strickler is a buddy of mine. He used to write for the MLR, and he helps Glendale because he works for the city of Glendale. He helps them with all their media stuff. So he's like, hey, bro, it was during the LA Seattle game up here in Seattle. I want to say it was a year following that. So it'd been a minute since I'd seen you. And so I'm there in Glendale. My wife's allergic to the sun. So needless to say, she's under a canopy and I'm running around like a hell on wheels. And I come up next to your boy, and I got my I got a coolie hat on, by the way. And like just looking the horse's ass that I am sometimes. And I look at him and I'm like, this guy looks so familiar to me. Of course, you two gray hairs don't hide very well. And so I like, hey, I move over to you eventually. And I go, hey, you been to a Seattle game before? What do you do for a living? And you're like, oh yeah, I'm the GM for New York. And I was like, and you and I both looked at each other and our like eyes went like, poof, like, oh, I remember you. It was not that
Mm-hmm.
nice. It was, I remember you. And you called me, and I was like, he likes me. Oh my God. He's flirting with me. That's how I totally took it.
It's a very versatile word in Scotland. It's the most versatile word.
It was so good. At the end of the day, bro, it was so good. And then I moved seats. You're shuffling around because you got a whole team to coach and get through that day because that's a lot. And I remember you're with one of your assistants or whatnot, and you're coming around the pitch next to where I'm sitting, and you're like, "Hey, have you met this?" But like, have you met my buddy Matt? Which you called me again, which I'll edit. And I was dying laughing. I was like, this is so good. And I said, hey, man, since I hurt your feelings so deeply, can I buy you a pint after this game? And you're like, yeah. And then, if I remember right, you guys went and won that tournament.
Yeah, it might have been a year. Yeah. I think we won it twice, but only once I was with them. But to your first point, grey hair is better than nay hair, as we say in Scotland. But
hey, you know what? I'm so sexy
I
it comes off.
I like that slide.
We came to your hood to Hoboken, and I'm gonna have to queue up some pictures of you striping the field.
Ooh.
Right before the uprights went down. We
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that. Oh, yeah. No, because Pago and I were together earlier today, and we were talking about it. I was like, oh, dude, I'm interviewing Lizard later today. And he's like, oh, shit. So I'm like, remember when the uprights went down? And he's like, oh, that's right. And then, of course, another huge part that happened during that game was when Matthew Duncan went to go touch down thinking he was in the try zone, and he was on the 5 because of all the goddamn lines on that pitch. He got leveled.
So the amusing thing about that, right? So it was a scrum. Yeah. We blew Seattle over. Post came down. Disaster on TV. Absolute nightmare, and particularly my position, very embarrassing. We got the post back up within about 90 seconds, right? So yeah. I get a fairly abusive set of text messages from certain people within the league, and they're
hold on, this is my shop face.
Yeah. And they're like, how can we ensure that this doesn't happen again? And my response was, buy Seattle a fucking scrum machine and maybe they can cope. True story.
Well, I love it because you ended up beating Seattle in the final, a month later?
Yeah. But the point was, we had no real defense, right? It was poor infrastructure and from us. But when you keep prodding me, and it's like, all right, how can we ensure this doesn't happen again? Maybe make sure they can hold their side of a scrum up,
In all sincerity, all slapstick shit aside, one of my favorite times that you and I've hung out was in Rye, New York.
So I think you were trying to come out and watch a high school game, but you got your geography wrong. You were on a wrong train. You went too far.
I'd never done, being from the west side of America, honestly, public transit is not a good idea around here unless you're in the immediate city, and even then it's garbage. And I'd never been in this world. It was a lot of fun to learn, but boy, I was learning fast, bro. You even heard me like, all right, I'm on my way. And you're like, I don't know that you can make it in that amount of time. And I was like, hold my beer. I'm going to try my best. It didn't.
Yeah. But we found the shittiest dive bar. It was probably the only dive bar in Rye because that's quite a fancy town.
Dude, I rolled into Rye. We went to, actually, we were on the train and we accidentally went into Connecticut. We had to get off, walk around, do the country mile. So that took some time, needless to say. Wait for the next train to come through, roll down to Rye, which I should have got off of like 2 or 3 stops before. Got off, went into this, I don't know, they had white cloth napkins and silverware in the place. And I was like, I looked at my wife and I was like, this is not our place. This is not going to work for me. I need somewhere where I kind of got to look around a little bit. I don't know. So you were at the high school game by now in Rye, for Rye High School, and it was like started walking around, just moseying around, just popping around, and I saw this total dive bar with like a tiki vibe outside. Do you remember that? The whole grass that came over the front of the entry. And I was like, that's the shithole I want to go to. And I remember hitting the location, sending it to you, and you're like, meet me here when you're ready. And you were like 30 minutes out, came through. And I just want to know, how was your smoked Jameson?
Yeah, well, I've drunk Jameson in multiple continents at very similar levels of quality. I have never, ever had a barmaid try and light the Jameson. I don't even remember what she tried to do, but it was like smoked Jameson or something. This was the middle of the day. I remember. This wasn't late at night.
She wanted into your. This is during the day. That's exactly right, because we had a whole day after that.
It was lunchtime.
She, I want to say it was like 2-3 in the afternoon, right? And then I remember us ordering food. Remember we had food delivered, and she wanted you so bad. She wanted, she wanted to make Steve her king. It was so fun. She was like, "Oh, I have family from Scotland." Oh man, she was bonding with you as every way she could, and then she's like,
hey, very perceptive woman. Very perceptive woman.
Why wouldn't she? I mean, come on. But what I remember is she pulls out this kit that you'd probably buy in the hobby store, and it's got this like ceramic or clay plate, and it's got this like a cup on it, like a teacup almost without a handle, and then this like smoke little cube thing, and she gets out the torch. She puts it over your cup and my cup one at a time, and she's torching this thing, just going for, and she's like talking your ear off about her family being from Scotland, and gets done, and of course she's mixing around and pretty much putting like a straw.
This was obviously an important moment for you. You seem to remember it in such detail. I mean, for me,
dude, it was hilarious because I've never ever since, not since I've had this ever happen, and it was you of all people, and I'm like, honestly, like you and I barely knew each other, but man, by the end of the day, we felt like we were brothers. So, so she is really proud of herself doing this smoke, and we both pull off of it, and we're like, oh, thank you. We're being polite. She went out of her way. Yep. And the minute she walked away, you were like, did you taste any of that shit? And I was like, no. You're like, same here.
Yeah.
So ever since, that's kind of been our joke, is like smoke Jameson for two.
So you've just described 3 miserable drinking experiences for me with you.
Oh, we got more. Come on, we got more.
I'm not sure how interesting this is to the rest of the world.
You know what? It's our podcast. You know what? They're watching. I'm good with it, buddy. You and I are hanging out. That's what's important to me. I'm not the normal podcast. I don't care. It's all about the bond. At the end of the day, it's all about the bond.
Yeah, and then I think the last time was DC. We hung out DC with Duma.
Yeah. But you know what? I need to give you a compliment before we move on to DC. The next time was the championship, and you couldn't tell me shit until it was announced publicly. And the minute it was announced publicly, you were on the phone with me, and you're like, hey, when are you guys flying in? Where are you staying? All right. Meet me at Pig and Whistle on 36. Bro, we're there. We're gonna eat and drink and be merry, and then we'll see you at the game the next day. And I was like, fantastic. Can I bring fans that are coming across town? You're like, yep, and I'll keep an eye on XYZ, right? So we show up, and Cormac McCormick, the owner of the Pig and Whistle, has got a spread on for us, because there was a few people that made it earlier because everybody's coming in different times, different flights, and you were there to greet everybody as the host with the most. And they had the spread put on, which to me was a lot of food. It was very appreciated. And then everybody racked up a tab for their beers and drinks and such. And next thing you know is you're like, and you're like, you got this card in your hand, some kind of way, and you're like, I won this at an auction. McCormick gave me $500. And I'm like, and you also had to come out of pocket, but you end up covering everybody's tab for the drink. So us fans came into New York to play a championship against New York. We got Stephen Lewis over here being the host with the most, the GM of New York that we're going against, that we're supposed to be rooting against, and he's killing us with kindness and filling us full of food and booze. It's really hard to dislike a team when you are approached that way. Just putting out there, people, just saying. The next
That's
day,
right.
New York kicked Seawolves' ass, politely said. And I'll tell you what, it was funner than shit. And you and Matt both came at halftime to find myself and a couple other fans and tease us and heckle us and, give us the love that you always give. And that was one of the best times my wife and I have ever had at a rugby game, even though the New York fans were just a little much for my wife. But it was symbolic and it was a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you for
Great
making
days.
such an impression.
Yeah. Great days of MLR.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the MLR has been a great experience for myself. Yeah. And then DC, where you didn't have to wear that big hat and you got to hang out, and that was a time, because obviously we're having fun.
That's right. The hospitality of Mr. Johnson. Duma.
Yes, Duma was clutch, man. Duma was a great experience. Like, that guy has got so much good energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's a cliche, right? But it's like attracts like. Good people tend to work each other out, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, you're I don't know. I mean, you're 100 club MLR thing, right? So you've been pretty much everywhere, right? You're down to
almost, yeah.
Yeah, so it's getting down to it's down to 6 teams. So you've only got 5 opponents. 5
bro, it's
away
really
games.
hard to go to games when you only got like 5 home games, bro.
Exactly.
Honestly, I'm used to 8 home games. I get a whole, like, per season, I know how many games I've been to. I know exactly which games I've been to. I have pictures of every game, kind of jazz.
So what's the word in Seattle? What's the season preview? How are you feeling? How are people up there feeling about A, the league, and B, Seattle themselves?
You know me, man. I got an opinion about everything. So let's go. So Seattle's going to South Africa, which I think most everybody knows, but it's actually cemented in because tickets weren't bought until recently. So, like, it really was on the fence of what's going down. A lot of the players now no longer have housing included in their contract. And so therefore they're having to figure out housing on their own. And this is a conversation that I've had. I'm sure you've had it too, with many players, where they're trying to figure out and sort through what's the best solution for their problem. So Seattle will take off to South Africa here in 2 weeks. They'll go down there for 2 weeks. They'll play the Stormers. They'll practice a lot. There's a couple players down there that are already part of the team. They're going to wait till they all get there, as everybody starts reporting next week here in Seattle. They'll go down there, do their thing, get them in line. They'll come back. They're going to play a pregame against the Harpooners collective group. Don't really know how much competition will be on the Harpooners side, because I really don't know what makeshift team they're going to make. So then their first game will be the first week of April against DC at home.
All right.
So that's
All right. All right. Enough of the logistics. What's your opinion? What's the squad strength? How do you feel it compares to previous
bro. They're
years?
only bringing back like 7 dudes.
How do you think they're going to compete against other teams? Make a prognostication. Let's have a prediction
Ooh.
here.
All right, I'll talk. Okay, I'll talk shit. I really think it's gonna. My personal opinion, I think Seattle do well because Clarkey just seems to get it done. Like, dislike, whatever you will about Clarkey, he tends to get the team moving and grooving. So in that sense, I think that we'll do well. I think Seattle will do well. I said we. I shouldn't say we. Seattle will do well. If they'll make the championship, yeah, fuck, I don't have a crystal ball, but here we go. I really like to see Seattle and Chicago because those are my two favorites out of the last 6 left. I really like Latho. I like his ways of doing things. I think he's got more people coming back to Chicago than any other team, and maybe not as many as Free Jacks, which I really think Free Jacks have won the last 3 years because of their consistency of personnel. I think consistency is everything.
So what are you saying? Are you saying that the league, MLR Shield, has been won the last 4 years by East Coast teams? Are you confessing?
Oh, it has been. It has now that noted. Oh, I see you. Yes, you're completely right. I love it, by the way, because like coming out the gate with the team that won 2 on the West Coast, and then you had LA win another one, and you're like, dude, like it needs to go on the other side of the coast so this can actually be a league. I remember you and I talking about that before New York and Seattle played, and I was the same opinion then. We need to create a rivalry in this world. If there's not one, like Americans just don't know how to deal with it. So there's a good rivalry between us and New England. So I would love to see that, but I don't want to see New England go all the way. So that's why I want Chicago. Just
Fair
saying.
enough.
I love all the fan bases, but there's a couple fans of New England that I just cannot deal with.
Well, you're not alone there. You're not alone there.
No, unfortunately, I'm part of a group of fans as crazy as me in a WhatsApp all over the country. There's 18 of us in this group, and I haven't heard one single good thing about New England fans. There's a couple of them that represent the team a little harder than others that I just can't get behind, politely said. It doesn't mean I need to hand a hand grenade and walk away. It's just good luck, best to you. I just want nothing to do with you. So that's that. I think Seattle's going to at least hit playoffs. I would love to see them in the championship. More than anything, I've said it before. I want Chicago to go all the way.
Mm-hmm. You think Anthem will win a game this year?
They better. I know 5 guys on the team. One of them I call a nephew, and they better fucking bring it. They better not lose.
Who you call your nephew?
Marcus. He's a kid that played rugby with my son. I can't say I coached him. I can say I yelled at him a few times. But the kid's always been a leader. So like you don't really have to mess with Marcus. He's always been grounded. Hence why he's a pro, and a lot of the guys he played with are not. Real talk. So, and he's a class act, but he's hungry. He's a flanker, so he's a killer. And then you got Seth Smith on the team too, who's the hooker, the 20-year-old. You know who he is.
Yeah.
And so, and I really like him. He's kind of got he's got an old soul. Like he's got a touch to him that's just, he's easy to get along with. And then, Connor Mooneyham. I mean, there's a lot of class on that team where I really feel like there's enough talent that they could do it, but
big year for them. End of their initial franchise contract. What's going to happen there afterwards? Be interesting. They got to win some games.
Yeah, nobody wants to support a loser. Real talk.
Yeah, it's the end of their 3-year initial contract, right? So a lot's riding in this. Would World Rugby and MLR owners renew their financial support if they don't show any progress?
That's
The only thing that saves them is the league is short of teams, so they're not going to jettison a team.
I'm curious on that. Like, and you probably know more than I do, honestly, because like I remember. So this is how I remember Anthem developing. Is I have my own memory as you do. So like I remember being in the hospital, waiting to get a toe tag because that's when all this, when I was crippled and shit. Right. So I'm in the basement of this hospital, and I remember Kevin Flynn, which is our team manager, and Brian Powers, which is our team doctor, one of them, and comes to my room and is like, and I was like, hey, because Marcus had called me about how the Falcons had disassembled for U.S. rugby, and I was like, whoa, and we're talking about Jonah, which is a buddy of his best friend, and I knew that the both of them had been on this team, and so we're working through this. So like Kevin tells me they're not happening. Marcus tells me they're not happening, and then I hear like obviously Flinny tells me about how they're structuring U.S. rugby, World Rugby, and they're creating this team called Anthem instead of the Falcons, right? And I'm like, how the fuck does that work, right? So he's like, all right, so it's this and it's that, and lays it out. So I didn't realize, World Rugby's got their toes in the mix, and that is as much of their club as USA Rugby and MLR. So there's three little. Is there more owners than that? Do you know?
My understanding is that World Rugby have agreed to finance it along with the MLR owners. I don't think USA Rugby is financing it. They're benefiting
I
from it.
doubt it. I mean, they went bankrupt in 2020, right?
Right. Oh.
So I don't know how much money they would have if they did, right?
They have zero money.
Right. Yeah.
So
I don't know, man. I can see. Your logic makes absolute sense. So like, are they going to be around next year? Which, man, my heart hurts if they're not, because there's a lot of players that keep on getting moved around, which is terrible.
It's the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
I think also what's in their favor is with the World Cup, right? You have World Rugby who have a couple of times now committed significant, or they've said they're committing a significant amount of money to American rugby in the runway, in the lead up to the World Cup. So part of that is an investment in Anthem. So why would they pull the plug on a program which is intended to focus and promote American-only talent? Not exclusively, but mostly. So I got to think they're going to roll the dice again, but less of a commitment going forward because, roster sizes are lower, salary caps are lower. So it's less of a cost than say it was in the previous 4 or 5 years. So we shall see.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right, because I definitely want to see him sustain, but I don't have to pay the bills. It's easy for me.
Stupid name. What do you think of the name?
Anthem?
Bullshit.
Who's your mascot?
Well, what does it even mean? Nonsense.
No idea. It really was pulled out of it's kind of like the LA team of last year, right? Like RFC, like, bro, like when I saw their merch, I was like, dude, I think somebody made this with Crayolas. This was bad. And, Sam Harris being the coach, I love me some Sam Harris. But I'm like, bro, I cannot get behind your team. This is hot garbage, dude. Like, they just picked like 5 letters out of the alphabet and just threw it in as a name.
And the logo design wasn't great either. Don't need to go there.
And an acorn is their goal, was an acorn. And you're like, LA and an acorn. You're going to have to bring some history in this one. And you're really going to have to shove it down our throats in order for us to understand it. And then, while you're shoving it down our throat, does that look like the tip of what?
Not going there.
Just saying, buddy. Just saying. You already know where I was going.
Everybody does. When you got a logo, when you've got a generic name like that, LA Rugby Club or LA Club Rugby, whatever it was, you throw in a logo that looks like a dildo. This is not top level marketing. I mean, some good people involved there, know them all, love them all, but they got that off. It wasn't a great launch.
And this
How
is
do you
going to
feel?
be
How
what
do you feel?
everybody sees when you present your team. When you
Yeah.
come, anytime
So,
you're on social media, like LA RFC, and you're like, what? Are we all like W2F? Oh, BRB. Like, what
so
the
what do you
fuck is
what do you think?
happening?
What do you think about their sort of concept moving forward? California Legion.
Okay, well, I love the fact that you're bringing. Are you are you feeding me to
I'm
just see
asking
how
you questions.
disruptive I can be? I love it, dude.
Yeah.
It's like it's the opposite right now. You're so funny. You know what? I'm gonna pass this one over to you and let you answer first because I know what my answer is, but I want you to be the jerk first
I think.
because you're such
I
an
think.
attorney. Sometimes it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I think it's a mistake. I mean, I understand
Yeah,
the financial reasons for a merger, spreading cost. San Diego had a good thing going, especially with that fan
yeah.
group. It was a beautiful stadium they were in. Those guys were committed. LA was a bit sketchier. I get it, the idea of California, but it's almost too big. And I think they're making a big mistake. And my friends in California tell me 2 games here, 2 games there, 1 game there. It's just not working. People they're not excited, you know? So
Every game's
again,
an award.
I want every team to succeed, and I want more teams and new teams. But sometimes our existing teams are not doing themselves favors. That's the way I look at it.
No, I love it. Like that was very PC, by the way. I did not expect that to be so polite. That was very
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
because I know.
Occasionally, I can do euphemisms. You know.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're very good with your words, sir. You know that. Oh man, and of course you got the guy that feels like he came out of the trailer after that conversation.
So yeah, that's California. We've done
So
California. We've done Chicago. We've done Anthem. We've done Free Jacks. We've done Seattle. Who's left?
no, we got to stay on LA for 2 more seconds
Yeah.
because they're struggling getting healthcare covered for the boys. Okay, so like that's a major issue. So do not be surprised if you see California, their Legion, all of a sudden out of like another state. I'm gonna guess Nevada, like Las Vegas, and they're gonna play all their games in Cali because they have to get medical insurance on these boys. The state will not let them have medical. That is the
Right.
biggest problem right now, bud.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
we got to
it
worry
was
about the
all.
boys' health. At the end of the day, we got to worry about them getting stitched back up after they put their body on the line.
Yeah. So historically, it's always been the league's, workers' comp. It's
Yeah.
almost dollar for dollar some places. And at one stage, we had 3 teams in Texas, which was the highest. I mean, New York's high,
Oh, I didn't
California's high.
realize that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So think
Austin,
about that.
Dallas, Houston.
That did not make sense. So, yeah. So let's keep moving here. CBA, new CBA. What do you think of that? What do you know about that?
I don't know jack squat.
Okay. So actually, we did finish off on the teams. My tip to win this year,
Heard.
DC.
Ooh, I like that. I
Ooh.
like that. I didn't
Yeah.
see that one coming, bro.
Yeah. Well, looking at the rosters, and the rosters
Yeah.
are much changed. And I'm not right on top of it like I was 2 years ago, but
No,
I
no.
know the
Who is?
rosters, I know the players, I know most of the coaches. I think given this sort of constricted, like 33-man roster, whatever it is, 8 foreigners,
Yeah,
lowest
is that
salary
what it
cap.
30? Because last year I think it was 36. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure there was an actual upper limit at that stage, but I think it's all tightened, obviously, right? Which is their whole point. And I think that looking at the rosters, I think DC have done the best job in terms of retaining quality and some continuity, to your point. So they are my preseason pick. Old Glory, DC. You
Ooh,
heard it here first.
I like that a lot. And I'm going to pick Chicago for my team, which I know people just it may make waves, but that's okay.
Yeah, as long as it's not
Yeah.
those as long as it's not those Boston motherfuckers, you know.
Alex Magleby, what class act. The dude loves some rugby. He supports rugby, and I really feel like he is one of the correct decisions to put into position to continue the MLR to push forward. I could not support it more. Just because of the conversations I've had with the guy, the pints. He's not as crazy as you and I, that I know yet, but he's grounded and his heart's in the right spot, and I'm excited to see what comes of it, honestly. Also, Ollie Gilpin, he was their marketing social media guy, which is obviously a huge part of growing a club, as you know. He's also stepped up to helping Alex on the MLR level versus just a club. I mean, let's be honest, bro. They had a major setback, bro. Like, they're going back to 2019 right now. And on top of that shit show, as much as, I mean, I love the MLR. So, like, I want them to succeed. So I'm not here to talk shit as much as like reality. They had a major setback. They need to really think about what they're going to do next, because we're back to 2019 structurally. We got 8 home game, or no, 2019 we had 8 home games. So like we're back to 2018, excuse me. So we're back at the beginning year.
Yeah, it's an absolute make or break year.
It is.
When you look at
Seattle, for example, Seattle just numbers asses and seats, bro. We were knocking on the door of 4,500 at Starfire in 2018 and 19. Like, it was like 2 games in, and that place was like standing room only. We get to present, and we're pushing on 3,500. We're pushing on 3,500. We're wishing for 32 to 3,500, right? And we're the oldest team in the league. And we're still struggling. Everybody else is struggling. What's going to happen? What are they going to do to stimulate it? What are they talked in a closed group with guys like yourself and ownership? And I was like, listen, I really feel like you need to help. You need to have fans, like a member of each fan group, to help you navigate the waters of what the people, quote unquote, want. And that, I feel like that will help, instead of spending money on random shit. Every team spends random on, they're not on the same page. Nobody's comparing notes. Everybody's got this, I'll say it, this dick contest of whose team is better. And they're not collaborating like they should. Like, man, you know, and I know, like, some stuff is going to work on the East Coast that ain't going to work on the West Coast or Chicago or whatnot. But if they trade notes on simple things, I feel like they have more collaborated.
All right. So here's some truth bomb coming in your direction. So these teams, these owners are rivals for 80 minutes every weekend, right? The rest of the week, it is a single entity league. It should be one league, rising all boats. But the biggest problem you have, and I know, and I'm friends with many owners, is that instead of understanding that they are working together, they've had some bad apples in there, and they pursue their own agendas. And the reason you have a problem with salary cap is because everybody cheated, okay? Because owners pretended not to. Everyone's an arms race. None of them are innocent. Some are more innocent than others. But the fact of the matter is, until they understand that they're actually partners, I mean, they say this and they pay lip service to it. But then you see they go out and they do. And then they go out and they do something else.
They do.
So to the league, you know, if you look at historical comparisons, right? If you look at the current success of MLS soccer, at one stage, Anschutz, Denver money guy, owns 6 of 10 teams. So MLS went through this contraction as well. So think about that. That's like it was like Eric Anderson owning Atlanta for a while, Free Jacks Atlanta, and with little minority positions in different places. But yeah, so MLS contracted, hung in there, got through that 84 World Cup, and then boom, now they're the explosive growth, 30 teams, whatever. So that shows that it's possible. So that this current contraction and what it looks like an ugly season, 6 teams only. If they get through it, they hang on. In the World Cup, which everyone sees as the sort of pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right? But that's still 5 years away. So all is not lost, but to me, this is a make or break season.
Yeah, this season does go well. I totally agree with you. Couldn't agree more. It's hard to have this conversation on a podcast. I mean, like, all bullshit aside, it's hard to have this conversation. I know it's not easy for you either, because like, we want rugby to grow. I mean, like, you and I we're just diehard rugby fans at the end of the day. I mean, at the end of the day, you put in what you contribute, and I put in what I contribute. And at the end of the day, we're hoping this shit mixes and matches, and everybody wants some of it. You know what I mean?
I bet you didn't have as disappointing a day as I did when New York folded.
Ooh. Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, so that was pretty brutal. Pretty brutal.
Tell us more, bud, because like, the people don't know. I know the story, but like, tell your truth, please.
Tell my truth. Yeah, so New York, so the Boltons, who were the New Zealand owners, right? They wanted out. They were trying to sell to a sort of local consortium, New York people who, were put together, and it dragged on over the course of the summer. At that time, you had 2 annual cash calls, and so the Boltons hadn't paid one in anticipation of selling, and it dragged out. So this started to antagonize other MLR owners, right? So we get to whenever it was Sunday, and the sale is going to close on the Tuesday. And then MLR, in all their wisdom, announced the Toronto Arrows fold on the Monday. So they got a closing. A team is changing hands on the Tuesday, and they allow another team to announce they're folding on the Monday. So that spooks one of the investors for New York. He pulls his money. At that stage, the relationship between New York and the league had deteriorated so dramatically that MLR owners felt no more extensions. So it doesn't close on Tuesday, and we think, all right, the Boltons are going to go again. They're going to reduce everything, skeleton organization. And then 2 days later, they decide they're out, wash their hands of the whole thing. So on Sunday night, I was going to have a significant increase in remuneration and job title and all the rest of it.
Yeah, because you were going from GM to CEO, right?
Yeah, Tuesday it goes, all right, it's not going to happen. We got to hang around for another year, find another buyer. And then Thursday, I'm unemployed. So it was a rough 3-4 days. Different people, different levels, right? There are other employees within New York who also lost their jobs, and obviously players got shunted and moved around and what have you. So it was dark days.
Yeah, and it was felt across the country at that moment, in my opinion. I mean, that's all, Pago and Django and, man, I want to say 5 dudes all of a sudden showed up in our hood.
Sam Windsor, Monate, Manate, Daquan.
And Aquan. That's what it was. It's those 5 right there. You nailed it, bro. Hence, we were looking at my jersey earlier with all the signatures on it. So that probably didn't hurt nothing. I like, the minute I saw those boys, I'm like, oh, I'm getting a jersey. I'm getting a jersey. Got to get hoops, bro. Like classic as, and have them scribble on them, AKA their names. And of course, there's clowns in every group. So, tell you what, as shitty as the situation that was, in all sincerity, over here on this side, this guy right here, I really got some great interaction and bonds with those guys. Daquan, I got to meet his mentor. I think he referred to him as, and Chango, Chance, whatever you want to call him today. I got to meet his queen and learn that she went to school with a buddy of my son's that played rugby with her, and she also kicked for the high school football team, and so we got to make that bond. And then Pungo and I obviously are like, today we just did a elementary school in Tacoma introducing rugby to them at an assembly. Him and Hannah are up in Kirkland. They're grinding it out. They're figuring it out. He's loving life. There's some ups and downs that have come and gone with that situation, but he is persevering through it. And Puggo is like, he's helping with the community part, and he's the man for the job, in my opinion. Like, that guy is so passionate. His ability to communicate with others is unreal. Like, it's been a blessing on it, as fucked up, bro, as New York, Rooney, whatever you want to call it, fell apart, Ironworkers. Seattle benefited from it. Huge, in my opinion. We benefited from it so deeply, both in our community and on the pitch, in my opinion. I'm sorry that it happened. I never wished it to happen. Would have, I love being a rival with you. Kidding me? But the boys that we got out of it.
Did Seattle ever beat New York?
Pardon?
Did Seattle ever beat New York?
You tell me, buddy.
I know.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. So what's the answer?
You have. Yeah.
Just not in the championship.
Yeah, just not in the championship, not in the last 3 or 4 years, but not under my
Love it.
Not under my supervision. Yeah. So again, it's going to be an interesting year, MLR.
It will. And you and I both we could probably talk for another 3 hours. So let's cut it off. Leave a little meat on the bone. I guess we got to figure out when we're going to see each other next, don't we?
Nashville.
What do you got going in April?
Free Jacks against the Hounds in Nashville. That's the game I'm looking at.
All right. So are you Saturday night? Are you going to come visit me and harass me? Because Saturday night,
if you're in Nashville,
bro, come on, stop it.
I'm not going to Seattle for one night out. Not happening.
Okay, so
it's not that bouncy a town. It's not like I live in New York City. You see these four walls? Outside of here is a plethora of dining options, drinking options, every option. That's all I'm saying. Seattle doesn't quite cut it.
I see you, bro. I see you, but you still got to come visit once in a while.
Nashville, neutral ground, party town. Yeah. That's a possibility.
Okay, so this is obviously you don't know. So check your social media, check my social media, whatever you got to do. So I reached out to a couple buddies, and it's called the Lost Patty pub. It's in Nashville. We are reserving it for Saturday night before the game. We're doing a live podcast with the Rugby Rant, and we are going to wreck the Nashville rugby scene. We have invited the Nashville groups around, the youth.
You know who owns that pub?
Yeah, Mikkel.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. That's who I
ever
Mihal. That's how you say it, not Michael. Mihal, right?
Do you think I've ever been to that pub?
Yeah, I bet you fucking have. Yeah, I bet you have, bud. So you're not surprised at all, is what I'm hearing. It's all the more reason for you not to have your ass in a seat for me to harass you with the microphone.
It's a little bit out. It's not central Nashville.
Yeah, it's closer to the airport for sure.
Yeah, just so you're aware.
Yeah.
Good spot, but you want to make sure your logistics are on point so that you can get to the game. And
100%. And Ray Keane, dude, bless his heart, he hooked us up. So good stuff.
Yeah, Mayo's brother Sean is a good pal of mine, coaches GCU. Grand Canyon
really?
University. Yeah, Sean O'Leary.
Dude, the world just gets smaller by the minute, doesn't it, friend?
When you're
absolutely this old, love it, by the way.
When we're this old, it does get small.
Oh, there ain't no BS in that situation, bro. Real talk. No, I know that you plan on leaving by 9 your time. So, if you need to cut out, you would cut out. So, let's call it a day. Let's leave a little meat on the bone for the next one. Lord knows I probably have enough F words and shits to go around to cut out of this bad boy.
I mean,
on my behalf, you've been great.
there's lots of juicy topics left to discuss.
You know what? We just need to plan another one. Like, now that you say all this, I absolutely love the way you think,
All right.
which is kind of corrupt to say out loud because I know you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
absolute pleasure, brother. I
right,
mean,
Matt.
absolute pleasure. I have mad respect for you. Thanks for making time.
No worries.
I'll
Great
see
to
you
see
soon.
you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our other videos at youtube.com/Rugby100 Club.